Have you ever felt that nagging voice inside, whispering doubts and fears? It's that persistent echo in the back of your mind, questioning your every move, making you second-guess your abilities and decisions. Have you ever held back from pursuing a dream, paralyzed by the fear of failure or judgment, the fear that others might see you stumble, or worse, that you might see yourself as less than perfect? This, my friends, is the ego's shadow, a powerful force that can either propel us forward or hold us captive. It lurks in the corners of our mind, feeding on our insecurities and magnifying our fears. The question is, are we willing to confront it and unlock our true potential? Are we ready to face the discomfort and push through the barriers that the ego sets before us? The path to personal growth is paved with challenges, setbacks, and opportunities for learning. Each obstacle we encounter is a chance to grow stronger, to learn more about ourselves, and to move closer to our goals. But too often the ego, with its insatiable need for validation and control, stands in our way. It craves approval from others and fears the unknown, making us hesitant to take bold steps. It whispers doubts, fuels insecurities, and prevents us from taking the very risks that could lead to growth and fulfillment. It tells us to play it safe, to avoid the unknown, and to stay within the confines of our comfort zone. But true potential lies beyond those boundaries, waiting for us to take the leap of faith and embrace the journey of self-discovery and growth. The ego, in its simplest form, is the part of us that craves recognition, validation, and a sense of self-importance. It is the inner voice that constantly seeks to affirm our worth and significance in the eyes of others. This aspect of our personality can be both a driving force and a stumbling block, depending on how we manage it. It's the voice that says, "Look at me." It demands attention and thrives on the admiration and approval of others. This need for acknowledgement can push us to achieve great things, but it can also lead us down a path of arrogance and self-centeredness. I'm special, I'm right, I'm better than... These thoughts can inflate our sense of self-worth to unhealthy levels, making us blind to our flaws and dismissive of others' contributions. This inflated ego can create a barrier between us and the people around us, isolating us in our own self-importance. While a healthy ego is essential for self-esteem and confidence, an inflated ego can become a significant roadblock to personal growth. A balanced ego helps us to believe in ourselves and our abilities, giving us the courage to take on challenges and pursue our goals. However, when the ego becomes overblown, it can lead to overconfidence and a lack of self-awareness. When we allow our ego to dictate our actions and decisions, we become slaves to external validation. We start to measure our worth by the number of likes, followers, and compliments we receive, rather than by our own intrinsic values and achievements. This dependency on external approval can make us vulnerable to manipulation and control by others. We seek approval from others, constantly comparing ourselves and feeling threatened by the success of others. This comparison game can lead to feelings of inadequacy and jealousy, eroding our self-esteem and happiness. Instead of celebrating our own achievements, we become preoccupied with outshining others. This need for external validation can lead to a constant state of anxiety, fear, and dissatisfaction. We become trapped in a cycle of seeking approval and fearing rejection, which can take a toll on our mental and emotional well-being. To break free from this cycle, we must learn to cultivate a healthy ego that is grounded in self-awareness and self-acceptance. Think about a time when you witnessed someone's ego get in the way of their success. Perhaps it was a colleague who refused to collaborate on a project, convinced that their ideas were superior. Or maybe it was a friend who couldn't handle constructive criticism, interpreting it as a personal attack. Ego manifests in countless ways, from arrogance and stubbornness to defensiveness and a lack of empathy. It can prevent us from forming meaningful connections, learning from our mistakes, and reaching our full potential. The long-term consequences of an unchecked ego can be devastating. It can lead to broken relationships, missed opportunities, and a pervasive sense of unfulfillment. When we prioritize our ego above all else, we close ourselves off to growth, learning, and genuine connection. Imagine a life where fear of failure prevents you from pursuing your passions. Imagine the resentment that builds when you're unable to celebrate the successes of others. This is the high cost of ego, a life half-lived, a potential unrealized. Section 5. Taming the Ego: Practical Steps for Liberation. In this section, we will explore how to break free from the constraints of our ego and find a path to true inner peace and fulfillment. The good news is that we are not slaves to our egos. We have the ability to recognize its influence and take steps to mitigate its control over our lives. We have the power to tame this inner critic, to shift our perspective and embrace a more humble and fulfilling way of being. By doing so, we can lead a life that is more aligned with our true selves and our deeper values. Here are some practical steps to begin this transformative journey. These steps are designed to help you become more aware of your ego and to cultivate habits that promote humility, gratitude, and personal growth. Practice self-awareness. Pay attention to your thoughts and reactions. This means taking a moment to pause and reflect on why you feel a certain way or why you reacted in a particular manner. Notice when your ego is driving your behavior. Recognize the signs, such as feelings of superiority, defensiveness, or the need to always be right. Cultivate humility. Remember that you don't have all the answers. Embrace the idea that there is always something new to learn, and that everyone you meet has something to teach you. Be open to learning from others, even those you perceive as beneath you. This openness can lead to unexpected insights and a deeper understanding of the world around you. Embrace feedback. View criticism as an opportunity for growth, not a personal attack. Constructive feedback can help you identify areas for improvement and become a better version of yourself. Practice gratitude. Focus on what you have, not what you lack. By appreciating the positive aspects of your life, you can shift your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. Appreciate the good in your life and the contributions of others. Recognize the efforts and kindness of those around you, and express your gratitude openly and often. This practice can strengthen your relationships and enhance your overall sense of well-being. Section 6. Humility is embracing growth and learning. Humility is not about thinking less of yourself, but rather thinking of yourself less. It's about shifting your focus from self-importance to self-improvement, from seeking validation to seeking growth. When we approach life with humility, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. Humility allows us to acknowledge our limitations without shame, to seek help when needed, and to celebrate the successes of others without envy. It's a journey of continuous learning, where mistakes are seen as stepping stones, not roadblocks. Section 7. The Power of Perspective. Shifting our view. Often our ego inflates our sense of importance, making us feel like the center of the universe. But the truth is, we are but a small part of something much greater than ourselves. Shifting our perspective can be a powerful tool in taming the ego. Take some time to connect with nature, to marvel at the vastness of the universe, to contemplate the interconnectedness of all things. This simple act of perspective-taking can help us to see our own lives, our successes, and our failures in a new light. Section 8. Cultivating self-awareness, knowing thyself. The first step in taming the ego is to become aware of its presence in our lives. This requires honest self-reflection and a willingness to confront our own shadows. Pay attention to the situations that trigger your ego, the thoughts that fuel your insecurities, and the behaviors that stem from a need for validation. Journaling, meditation, and mindfulness practices can be powerful tools for cultivating self-awareness. By developing a deeper understanding of our own thoughts, emotions, and motivations, we can begin to untangle ourselves from the grip of the ego. Section 9. The joy of contribution, shifting focus from self to others. One of the most effective ways to transcend the limitations of the ego is to shift our focus from self-serving pursuits to acts of service and contribution. When we dedicate ourselves to something larger than ourselves, whether it's our community, a cause we believe in, or simply helping those in need, our ego naturally begins to dissolve. The joy and fulfillment that come from making a positive impact on the world far outweigh the fleeting satisfaction of ego-driven pursuits. By focusing on contribution, we tap into a deeper sense of purpose and meaning. Section 10. Unleashing Your True Potential, a Journey of Self-Discovery. Taming the ego is not a destination, but a lifelong journey of self-discovery and growth. It's a commitment to showing up as our most authentic selves, free from the limitations of fear, insecurity, and the need for external validation. As we learn to detach from the ego's grip, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. We become more resilient in the face of challenges, more compassionate in our interactions with others, and more fulfilled in our pursuit of purpose. So, embrace the journey, my friends, and unlock the boundless potential that lies within.